Hello everyone, my name is Aida binti Ambotud and my partner is Adam bin Abdul Latiff. We are from HTT680. So, this is the journal that we choose for our discussion. So, let's start!
From the topic, Malioboro Yogyakarta is perceived to lose its sustainability. The waste management issues that were assigned as a discussion have resulted from a complex situation. To compose the study, a directed approach was taken. For instance, the implementation via focus group discussions, observation, and unstructured interviews. The views were collected from those who perceive significantly towards the area. Hypothetically, it may be because of the large number of tourists which make it difficult to oversee and control. Hence, Malioboro Yogyakarta is struggling to stabilize its natural landscape or environment. The journal explores how the location faced the difficulty of waste management. Through this set of circumstances, ideas for effective theory were presented in order to investigate the relevancy of the situation. Part of it is the tourism destination conception, which emphasized the elements of attraction, accessibility, amenities, and ancillary services. Other elements were added to complete the circumstances that occurred at Malioboro, which are the elements of institutions. Consequently, this led to the deduction of the site's main issues. And now, we will highlight the challenge in managing waste at Malioboro, Yogyakarta. Malioboro, Yogyakarta is viewed as a tourist destination with a lack of cleanliness. These implications jeopardize the destination's sustainable tourism features. So, this could set off a chain reaction in terms of social problem, leading to the furtherance of waste issues and the fluctuations of initiative to preserve the environment in order to make it to be great. Follow given by the absence of seriousness with which to tackle the challenge. According to the journal, it is previously stated that the goal of the study is to decide the conception of stakeholders involved in waste management administration in Malioboro's tourist area. However, Malioboro Yogyakarta upholds the elements from tourism destination construction model. The model's element is seen as the exemplary contributor to the waste problem. In this session, we will analyze the issues that actually came from the journal. So, determining the possible causation is significant as seen from the problem. In this case, we will tackle the first issue, which is the lack of proper management. Malioboro Yogyakarta's poor management is regarded as one of the most major issues with the site's waste problem. According to part of the findings, the presence of waste, both plastic waste and food wrapping, appears to be the problem. Different areas have instated plans to improve the sustainability of the waste management strategy, largely dependent on their particular preference. Then, the lack of awareness regarding the necessity of waste management. We can agree that the behavior from an educated and environmentally responsible individual is contrast from a person that uninformed as well as environmentally uneducated individual. As a result, we can deduce that raising awareness is critical to resolving any social issues. Typically, but fundamentally, a sense of realization is necessary to shift one's mindset in terms of mentally, so that the eagerness and ambition to preserve can be successfully be formed. Next, administration is centralized with no engagement from external parties. So assume that a centralized administration is limited in terms of decision-making and resources. The result from that administration could produce a low or average performance. This could be due to a lack of external connections, which will make the idea more powerful. Issues can be suggested with much more ideas and ease the burden to solve the issues, particularly when facing to manage the waste. Whenever the government functions as a coordinator and catalyst in forming partnership between stakeholders, the solid waste management optimization development program will have a significant effect. And lastly, issues with enforcement arise as a byproduct of inadequate area. It is impossible to effectively avoid waste irresponsibility. However, it may occur as a consequence of humanity's sheer incompetence, as a factor which does not strive regarding cleanliness. The journal already stated that even though there is a trash can or specific placement where people can throw their trash, there is still a mass of trash considered to be there is lack of it. Consider a serious factor is that there are appeals to remind people not to litter, but the results are that littering still continues. Back to the first issue, this could be due to the lack of proper management, which could then plan for a clearer planning and policy.
First, encourage more public education and community engagement initiative in order to raise awareness of waste-related issues and the gap between local residents and the tourism industry. Second, manager of the Maribor tourism area must have strict laws about cleaning standard in the area for both tourists, the community, and tourism stakeholder. This is intended so that all stakeholders have the awareness to jointly maintain the clean lines of the area. Next, to be able to predict more accurately which part of the area's waste arising is related to tourism and which part is related to other activities, a dependable and well-planned local monitoring program concerning the number of tourists, their socio-economic situation, and waste generation habits is required. Lastly, adopt a more proactive approach to the development and implementation of the public-private partnership waste management concept on Mariboro's tourism destination, because public-private partnership have been identified as effective tools for improving service provision in the waste management sector. There are certain limitations to the data collection technique that were used. For example, in this journal, the researcher used qualitative research method which carried out by means of focus group discussion, observation, and unstructured interview, which the possibility of the interviewee may not express their honest and personal opinions about the topic during focus group discussion, and beside that, the unstructured interview are lagged with reliability because the questions may vary greatly from one candidate to another. It's much harder to compare apples to apples when reviewing answer. It may also become easier to be affected by bias or snap judgment. Therefore, for my opinion, the results of this journal are lacking to be considered as a good finding. Next is about the lack of information and previous study about how Mariboro management planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling the waste management system in the area in order to consider the environment aspect have a good waste management. For the conclusion, the improper waste management of which can lead to substantial and long-term direct and indirect impact to the environmental, economic, and social. Therefore, this study may raise awareness of many stakeholders, including waste management either from Mariboro or from other destination areas, to the importance of maintaining clean lines and using the proper procedure to preserve the environment, particularly in tourism destination. Besides that, waste reduction delivers a number of long-term benefits to tourism facilities and their host communities, including financial saving, increased operational efficiency, environmental preservation, a better image, and increased tourist and local happiness.